Doncaster Rovers had a bit of a nightmare this past week as they lost back-to-back games to put their promotion hopes out in the trash. We'll take a little look at what else happened this week next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction. So today we take a look at matchday number and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, where the heck are you been, boys? Smash your subscribe button and get your bang out today with all things League One related. Blackburn Rose Lane. Whoa! Football, here we go here. Under one Ruski, that's right. Goodness gracious me. What's gone wrong with Doncaster shipping in how many goals? 7 goals this past week. Goodness me. I tipped them. I tipped them to go up. I thought I painted them a bit of old jinx on the wall and they've absolutely gone tits up. Yes, indeed. So, yeah, hopefully they can get their act together this week. But until then, we'll take a little look at, of course, how you all got on. But before then, big shout out to these guys. You know who I'm on about. Who am I on about? Whoosh, these guys right here who went over to the Blackburn Roverseas Patreon page. Look at it in all its glory. It is. I've not touched it. But again, just want to highlight, you know, the Patreon, that you can be there and supporting the channel as it stands. Of course, my computer is a bag of shit, so any support you could throw my way would absolutely do me the world of good because I've brought out the beast. That's right, not the guy from The Chase. It's called the Beast, the computer beast. If you were to see this beast, it doubles up as a heater, especially with the weather we're having right now. It generates some heat, which I do appreciate today. But in the summer, this bastard will be the curse of my wife. She will be livid that this beast has been dug out of retirement. But that's the climate right now. But of course, because I'm on the old furlough, you guys, the ad revenue, the support you can throw me, Patreon or super chats, whatever. I'm not begging. But I'm just saying it does help, especially through times like these. But anyway, enough about that shite. Let's go take a look at how you all got on right here, of course, out in League One. Let's take a look at it. Of course, again, I'm pushed for time. We're going to try to squeeze in a whole bunch of recordings here on the Sunday night. Take a look at these games that took place on Tuesday and also into Saturday. So there's double week here, of course, and then we're going to kick on with a double week next week. So let's get into, of course, Northampton. Shocker. Everybody beats Wigan except for bloody Northampton Town. 1-0 loss to them. I got that one bang on the bloody nose. Kudos for Wigan. Get the 3 points. Meanwhile, of course, Pompey against Swindon was a 2-0 win. Was my pick. 2-1 was the final score, I believe. Is that right? Oh, I got it wrong way round. 2-0 was the final score, 2-1 was my pick. So good result for Pompey as well, keeping on moving. Next, of course, Rochdale against MK Dons. 1-0 win, I believe. MK Dons clean sheet. No, that was what I'm getting confused. I think it was a 4-1 win. That's right. MK Dons put a bit of a benchmark there against Rochdale. Of course, Rochdale are looking a little bit close at the moment. I don't even know which way they go. Meanwhile, the big one, because Hull against Lincoln City was a draw, 0-0 in the end. 2-1 was my final score for Hull. Unfortunately, no good. Meanwhile, Doncaster got their asses handed to them by Simon Grayson, ex-Rover, of course, teaching more or lesson. I remember the 2-1 for Doncaster. I didn't think it would happen, but of course, yeah, Fleetwood are moving. Move the chains, they say. Or should I? Well, hang on a minute. Meanwhile, Oxford United got another win, 2-0 win, got the one bang on the nose. They are the team to stop, I think. Meanwhile, Peterborough against Ipswich, they also got a big win for them. 2-1 win for Peterborough. Goal scores on the day. I'm having a look at that. Johnson, Clark, Harris, Joe Ward. Is Matey Boy still playing? Dembele? Or has he kicked up a stink? I'm going to just check the starting lineups here for this game. Is he anywhere near the starting 11? No, he is not. Did they get rid of him already? I don't even know. Anyway, enough jibber jabber. Next time, of course, Shrewsbury. Here we go. Here we go. Step up to the plate. Bloody Addy Chapman, Starman on the right, or down the middle, should I say. Absolutely ripping them a new one against Sunderland. Good result for them in the end. Where are we? Of course, that was a 2-1 win for Shrewsbury. Big win. And again, move the bloody chains for them as well. Meanwhile, into the weekend's games, we went. Quite a few cancellations due to frost and all sorts of what other business, including this one. Wimbledon against Rochdale did not go ahead. I won the 1-0 win. Blackpool against Peterborough also didn't get going. Neither did Bristol Rovers against Swindon. Crewe against Portsmouth also postponed. Shrewsbury also against Ipswich was postponed. But Charlton against Gillingham did go ahead. 2-1 was my pick. Now we're flip-flopping. 3-2 was a final score going in favour of Gillingham. Goodness gracious me. Finally, Gillingham gets some points on the board, moving in the right direction. Meanwhile, kicking off for the Hull City against MK Dons. Big win for Milton Keynes. Big week for them, actually. 6 points on the board for them. Moving the chains for them, Badgers. Meanwhile, Burton Albion can move the bloody chains as well with a 2-0 win. Clean sheet to boot. Matey boy Hayden Carter at the back there, of course, Rover on loan, doing the business for Burton, keeping a clean sheet, and of course keeping their hopes alive of survival. Meanwhile, Plymouth stopped the chains for Fleetwood Town, of course, after that big win against Doncaster. They couldn't get past, of course, the Green Army of Plymouth. Argyle actually went the 2-1 win. I saw it. Meanwhile, Sunderland got a big win as well, 4-1 win over Doncaster Rovers. Like I said, absolutely nightmare. Charlie White with 4 goals that day. Goodness gracious me, 2-2 was my final score. Oxford did beat Wigan, job done. Keep on moving. They're up to 7th now. Oxford, goodness gracious me, and Lincoln against Accrington, late game on Sunday. 2-2 final score, 2-0 for me. As you can see, I got myself 5, 6, 7, which is pretty good. The table looks like this. I believe Lincoln City, yes, of course, 4 points clear over Hull, who are level on points with, of course, and goals, or not on goals, but level on points with Peterborough with 49 in 2nd. Pompey 4th, Doncaster 5th, Sunderland are 6th. They're in the playoffs, boys. They're probably the one to stop. Charlie White hit goal form at the wrong time, or the right time, really. Oxford into 7th. Come on, Oxford. Come on, Sean. Get up there. Get in there. Crew falling off the wayside a little bit. But, of course, games in hand for Ipswich, games in hand for Accrington. Watch those badges sneak up. The games in hand for Doncaster as well. Down the foot of the table, Burton having closed the gap. A win for them this week, and a little bit later, like they could go as high as 19th in the table. We'll take a look at that shortly. Here's the criteria not to survive in the shitface gang. 6 to 12, just like me, you're in the straight face club. And if you're a genius, you get 13. I don't even know if there was 13 available. Let's take a look at it then, shall we? JSPCFC, oh great, you did good. John Fasana, not too shabby gaming. Charlie also did shite. Vincent Long did poop. Cody Gaho, well done to you, of course. Alessandra Maddalena Seam also did good. Ultra Owen had a nightmare. Okay, didn't do okay. Chris Hain did bits. Yuka Jackson also had a nightmare. The Posh Podcast also did poop. Oh, Askeville, you had a shocker, brother. You had a shocker. Shepherd also had a shocker. Leeds 2021, you had a poopski. The Doopski. Oliver Army did okay. And a rain not too shabby. Olaji Ojo, well done. You did shite, mate. Russell Frost also did good. Well done. STFC Jenko also did right. And Nathan Eva did great. Meanwhile, of course, let's take a look at the leaderboard for this week and this week alone. Vincent Hong, Omar Esquivel, close your bloody eyes. But Jonathan Sandman, Russell Frost, of course, Frosty's up there. Kicking ass and taking nibs, pal, eh? See you, man. He's up there, of course, adding to his chart. Of course, he is, of course, outright leader at the moment. So Jonathan Sandman keeping up the heat. He is also into 5th. And of course, closing in on the chasing pack. Big loss maybe for STFC Janko. No, just the 1 point. Joachim Jakobsen, he lost just 2 points. Oh, okay, lost 2 points as well. So, of course, Russell Frost adding to his tally. Cut his internet, that's all I'm telling you. So here we go then, shall we? Here is the agenda for this next match day for me. We're doing them all. Again, I'm going to try and be as quick as I can. But we're going to start it all off with Gillingham up against Peterborough, of course. Down at Priestfields. It's up here, lads. Last 6 between two sides. 1 win for Gillingham, 2 for Peterborough, 2 draws last time around in Priestfields. 2-1 win for Peterborough back in October 2019. Joe Ward, Mohamed Issa on the score sheet. McCammell Mandron on the score sheet for Gillingham. They also played each other down in Posh this season. Scrap that, they didn't play this season. This will be the first time that they play each other, of course. Heading into this, though, Gillingham conceded at least 2 goals in the last 3 matches in League 1 West. Peterborough undefeated in 9 last 10 matches as well. Heading into this, just 1 defeat in the past 6 for Gillingham. That was against, of course, Lincoln City, so maybe the form is on Gillingham's side. Meanwhile, just back-to-back wins for Peterborough, beating Crewe, beating Ipswich in quick succession and scoring a couple of goals to boot. Look at the bookies. Odds on this one, Gillingham are actually 5-2 for the even Stevens is your Posh. 5-2 is your draw, of course. A win for Gillingham, currently find themselves in 14th win for them, they could go 11th. As for Peterborough, they're actually in 3rd win for them, they could go 2nd on their own on this one. Going to go with Peterborough to take the 2-1 win to take 3 points. Blackpool up against Rochdale, a bit of a northwest crunch clash. Let's take a look at this then. The Shower, of course, played each other in the last 6. 1 for Blackpool, 2 for Rochdale, 3 draws last time around in Bloomfield Road. So up here, lads, 2-2 draw back in October 2018. Goal scores on that day. Jaden Thompson, Curtis Tilt as well. Ryan Delaney, Calvin Andrew on the score sheet. They also play each other in Scotland, but that doesn't count. Of course, heading into this, Blackpool actually gets clean sheet in 5 of the last 6 home matches, whereas Rochdale have actually conceded at least 2 goals in 8 of the last 10 matches heading into this. Meanwhile, Blackpool have actually won 5 of the last 6 matches at home, but they go into this winning 2 and losing 2 of the past 4 games. Meanwhile, Rochdale just 1 win in the past 5 games. That 1 win was against Bristol Rovers. Of course, look at the bookies odds. On this one, Blackpool 2-1 on for the victory, 65 is your draw. 5-1 is your Rochdale on this. So we're going Rochdale coming at you in 18th for doing for them. They could close in on 17th, whereas 16th plays Blackpool. They could also go as high as 14th in the table. Blackpool will take this one with a 2-1 win as well at home at Bloomfield Road. I can't see anything but a home win. Ipswich up against Northampton Town. Let's take a look at this such then, shall we? Of course, played each other just the twice in recent succession. When I say recent, that's going back 10 years. Last time I played each other at Portman Road was a 2-1 win in the Calabria Cup in favour of Northampton Town back in August 2011. Ben Tozer and Paul Turnbull on the score sheet. Emmanuel Thomas on the score sheet as well for Ipswich. Heading into this though, Northampton have actually failed to score in the last 5 matches in League One, and Northampton have also failed to win in 7 last away matches as well. They did sack their manager. I don't know if they've appointed anybody since, but yes, absolutely horrific kind of form heading into this. 4 defeats in the past 6 games, the other 2 were draws. Just 1 win though in the past 5 for Ipswich. Could they be destined for another season in League One? I think it looks like that way. 20-13 on for Ipswich. Stone Cold favourites. 3-1 is your draw. 4-1 is your away win. That is Northampton. Northampton coming into this 23rd in the table, but a win for them. They could shoot themselves all the way up to a bloody 18th, whereas Ipswich are in 12th. A win for them, they could go 9th on this one. Ipswich will get the win. They'll break the hoodoo with a 2 to win. Lambert has this under control. Lambert's got this, baby. Next, we'll go to Doncaster Rovers, taking, of course, Accrington Stanley. Of course, last 6 between the two sides. 4 for Accrington, nothing for Doncaster. 2 draws last time round. In Doncaster, in the Keep Motors, a 1-1 draw back in December 2019. Orfandi Zanzala on the score sheet for Accrington. John Taylor getting the goal for Doncaster. Heading into this, though, Doncaster have actually won 6 of the last 7 matches in League One. Whereas Accrington have actually scored at least 2 goals in the last 7 last 8 away matches heading into this. Meanwhile, just 1 defeat of the past 6 for Accrington. That was against Plymouth. However, just 1 win in the past 5. If you want to look at it a different way, that 1 win against Bristol Rovers. That was a 6-1 win back at the start of Feb. Meanwhile, back-to-back defeats for Doncaster and 7 goals conceded in the last 2 games. I've already said the stat, but I want to say it again because for effect. Of course, heading into this 23-20, Doncaster are your favourites. 23-10 is your Accrington. They are underdogs. 12-5 is your draw. And this one, Accrington coming at you out in 9th. A win for them. They could go up to 6th. Doncaster are 5th, and win for them. They could go at least 2nd in the table. Doncaster will get back to anyway, so the 2 will win to put a bit of a stop on Accrington's push. Next, of course, Bristol Rovers against Portsmouth. Let's take a look at this one, shall we? Of course, last 6 season, 1 win for Bristol Rovers, 3 for Pompey, and 2 draws last time around. In Bristol, it was back in October 2019. I don't know why I sound Welsh, but anyway, Gareth Evans, Ronan Curtis on the score sheet, Alex Rodman, and Craig McGilvery, a big fat OG in a 2-2 draw back in October 2019. Portsmouth actually went 8 of the last 10 matches away from home. They also scored at least 2 goals in 8 of the last 10 matches as well. Heading into this, just whoa, what are we looking at here? Unbeaten the last 3 games, picking up 2 wins and a draw to boot. That is Portsmouth, whereas Bristol Rovers without a win in at least 5 heading into this. Oh my goodness, what are we talking about? The bookies odds. Bookies odds, where are you? Where are you? There they are, 7-2 for Bristol Rovers, 11-8 on is your Portsmouth, 40-5 is your draw. Of course, Pompey coming at you out in 4th for a win for them. They could go 2nd. As for Bristol Rovers, they're down just above the drop zone, but a win for them, they could close in on 18th. In fact, they could go 18th, but they're not going to win this one. 2-0 win for Portsmouth on the road. Next, of course, we have Wigan up against Hull. Let's take a look at this. The last 63 wins for Wigan, 1 for Hull, and 2 draws. Last round at the D-Dodos back in September. It's actually in July 2020, and it was an 8-0 win for Wigan. That was on the season. That way they went down. Kane Naismith on the score sheet. Kiefer Moore with brace. Kieran Dow with a hat-trick. Jamal Lowe on the score sheet. Uva missed. Joe Williams as well. 8-0 demolition. Both of these 2 sides went down in the end, though. Heading into this, the Hull have actually failed to score in the last 3 matches in League One. Whereas Wigan have actually scored at least 2 goals in the last 4 home matches against Hull. Heading into this, just 1 win in the past 6 for Hull. Wigan, that was against Northampton. That's actually just 1 win in the past 6 also for Hull. That was against Swindon. So Hull actually in a bit of ropey-dopey kind of form at the moment. And of course, bookies odds 7-2 for Wigan. 11-8 on is your Hull. 11-4 is your draw. Of course, no more Smallwood. He's out for the season, I believe. So of course, that's my little soft spot for Hull. Kind of been gone for that one. Of course, heading into this, Wigan are actually in 22nd, but win for them. They could go 18th. That's out of the drop zone. Wigan, Hull are actually in 2nd win for them. They can close in on 1st. They actually need to keep the win to keep up the heat with Peterborough. I see a 2-1 win though for Hull to take the 3 points. Only just though. Only just. That's of course the midweek games, but of course let's get into the old the weekend crunch clash now. Then shall we? Gillingham taking of course Bristol Rovers back-to-back home games for them. Of course taking on Bristol Rovers. This will be the last 6 has been 3 wins for Gillingham, 1 win for Bristol Rovers, and 2 draws last time around. In Gillingham was a 1 win for Bristol Rovers back in 2019. Jonathan Clark Harris on the score sheet for Bristol Rovers. They also played each other this season out in Bristol. Was a 2-0 win for Gillingham. Heading into this, Bristol Rovers actually failed to win the last 8 matches out in League One. Gillingham conceded at least 2 goals in the last 3 matches. Of course, heading into this, just 1 defeat in the past 5 games for Gillingham. That 1 defeat was against Lincoln City. As for Bristol Rovers coming in, 3 defeats in the past 4 games. Heading into this, bookies odds on this one then, shall we? Gillingham actually 21-20 for the victory. 23-10 is your draw. 30-5 is your Bristol Rovers. Bristol Rovers coming at you in 20th. Of course, double match week for them and a win for both of those games. They could themselves bring them all the way up to, goodness gracious me, at least 18th. As for Gillingham, also double match week for them. If they win both of those games, they could go as high as get this 7th in the table, and that means playoffs are on. Gillingham will win this one, and they'll lose the other one, but they'll win this one to keep themselves pretty much in what's the word? in flux. I don't even know. Accrington Stanley taking on, of course, Shrewsbury, of course, the star man. Hopefully will be featuring for Shrewsbury. Anyway, let's take a look at this one then. Shoutout, of course, played each other in the last 6. 2 for Accrington, 3 for Shrewsbury, and 1 draw last round. In Accrington was a 3-2 win for Shrewsbury back in August 2019. Goodness gracious me, the goal scores on the day. Mark Hughes, not that one, not that other one, but that one. That's right. Ficky with a big for OG. Fikini Unkimberde on the score sheet for Shrewsbury, and Daniel Udo as well. Kobe Bishop and Dion Charles on the score sheet for Accrington as well back in August 2019. Heading into this, they also played each other down at the Meadow. Is it the Meadow? Meadow Park, Meadow Lane, whatever the heck it was. Down Shrewsbury back in December was a 2-2 draw as well. Heading into this though, just 1 win the past 5 games for Accrington. That was against Bristol Rovers. Meanwhile, just 1 defeat the past 4 for Shrewsbury. That was against Crewe. Of course, that was the Pickering show back in the day. Heading into this though, Accrington Stanley coming at you. Of course, 5-4 for the victory. 11-5 is draw. 9-4 is also is your away win. That's Shrewsbury. So Accrington are your favourites. They're coming at you out in 9th. They have a double match week, of course, and if they win both of those games, they could go all the way up to at least 4th in the table. As for Shrewsbury, they're all the way down 17th, but they're on the climb, and win for them this week, they could go 15th in the table. Just a single game for them on this one. Going to go with a 2-2 draw on this one. Cannot separate 2 sides. Next to Burton Albion up against Sunderland. Of course, Burton Albion on the climb. Sunderland also trying to push themselves into automatic contention. Of course, played each other in the last 6. 3 for Burton, 1 for Sunderland, and 2 draws last round. In Burton was a 2-1 win for Burton back in League 1. Of course, September 2018. Jamie Allen on Scottish Cal McFadden as well. Chris Maguire again, they want to go for Sunderland. However, they played each other at the Stadium of Light back in December. Of course, it was a 1-1 draw with Chris Charles Vernon on the Scottish Max Power as well for Sunderland. Heading into this, so Sunderland just 1 defeat the past 5. That 1 defeat was against Shrewsbury, of course. Meanwhile, just 1 defeat the past 4 for Burton. That was against Ipswich. Of course, 1-0 loss. Meanwhile, the bookies odds will probably favour Sunderland on this one. 5-4 on the eye. Stone Cold Favourites 10-3 is your draw. 13-5 is, of course, your draw on this one. Of course, Burton coming at you out in 24th, and if they've got a double match week, no, just a single match week. And a win for them this week, they could themselves go up to at least 19th at the table. Of course, Sunderland in 6th, just a 1 game for them, and a win for them, they could shoot themselves up a little bit closer to 5th, and maybe really get their playoff or promotion track back on track, if you know what I mean. They'll win this one. No, they won't. Got to go with Burton. Surprise. I'm farting. Next, of course, Doncaster Rovers up against Hull. Let's get into this one then. Shout, of course, down to keep moat. Doncaster need a win. Of course, Hull also need a win with shitty kind of form. Heading into this, though, the last 6. 2 wins for Doncaster, 1 for Hull. 3 draws last round at the keep moat. It was back in the Peterborough Cup back in 2017. It was a 2-0 win for Doncaster. Alfie May, Tommy Rowe on the score sheet back in August 2017. Last time played each other in the league was back in the Championship in 2011 at the keep moat. It was a 1-1 draw as well. They also played each other down at the K-Com back in December. Of course, it was a 2-1 win for Hull. Josh McGuinness, Tom Ease on the score sheet. Tyrese John Jones on the score sheet for Doncaster, of course, back in December. Heading into this, though, Doncaster have actually won 6 of the last 7 matches in League 1. Also, Hull failing to score in the last 3. Heading into this badge, of course, back-to-back defeats for Doncaster. 4 games without a win for Hull. So 2 teams looking for a result to get them season back on track. Doncaster coming at you. Where are you? 2-1 for the victory. 5-2 is your 5-4 is your Hull. Hull coming at you out in 2nd win for them. Actually got double match for them. If they win both of those, a little bit of lady luck going their way, they could go back up top by the Pops. Meanwhile, Doncaster also in 5th, and they also got a double match week themselves and win both of those games. And guess what? They could also be in that top 2, if not top themselves. I've gone on this one. Doncaster to take this one 2-0. Get themselves back into contention. Hull in a bit of a wobbly situation. Meanwhile, Fleetwood Town up against Charlton. Let's take a look at this one now. Of course, Fleetwood under the mentorship, of course, Grayson, with David Dunn at his side. Charlton, of course, with Lee Bowyer trying to keep their dreams on track as well. Anyway, the last 6 between 2 sides, 1 with Fleetwood, 2 for Charlton, and 3 draws last round. In Fleetwood, 1 win for Fleetwood back in February 2019, a couple of years ago. Meanwhile, they also played each other in the Valley this season. 3-2 win for Charlton, of course, back in the day. This season, Ben Pemberton, Connor Washington with a brace, Ched Evans with a brace, of course, now on the books at Preston. Heading to this, Fleetwood have actually failed to score in 5 of the last 6 matches, where they've also failed to win 10 of the last 11 matches as well. Heading into this, just 1 win in the past 6. That 1 was against Doncaster, a big win as well. Meanwhile, on the flip side, just 2 wins in the past 6 games for Charlton. They would get MK Dons, and of course, against Rochdale. Look at the bookies odds on this one. Not a double match week for any of these 2 sides, but a win for Fleetwood coming in at 6-4 for the victories. 50-8 is your Charlton. 11-5 is your draw. Of course, Charlton are in 8th, and win for them they could go into 6th, whereas Fleetwood are actually down in 15th, and win for them they could also go up to 13th in the table. I've gone with on this one 1-0 win for Fleetwood at home. Surprise result, perhaps. Next, of course, Ipswich up against Oxford. Must-win games for Ipswich if they're really considering themselves to be playoff contenders. Oxford are already there. Last 3 seasons, 1 for Oxford, 2 draws and nothing for Ipswich last time around at Portman Row. Was a 1-0 win for Oxford back in February 2020, this time last season. Of course, Matty Taylor on the score sheet. Caden Jackson get himself sent off. They also played each other at the Kazam this season. Is it the Kazam? It could be the Kazan. It was a 0-0 draw back in December this season. So Oxford coming to this 3 games without conceding a goal against Ipswich. Meanwhile, Oxford actually won 9 last 10 matches in League One. Also scored at least 2 goals in 9 last 10 matches as well. Heading into this 1 defeat the past 5. That 1 defeat was against Doncaster. Meanwhile, just 1 win the past 4 for Ipswich. That 1 win was against Blackpool. Of course, heading into this though, the bookies odds coming at you 50-8 for Ipswich, 5-2 is your draw. 30-10 is your Oxford on this one. Oxford coming at you, and in 7th, a win for them. Double match week, no single match week, but a win for them. They could actually get into 6th. As for Ipswich, down to 12th. Double match week for them. If they get 6 points, they could get themselves up to bloody 45th points, up to 6th in the table with a little bit of luck. I've gone with a 2-2 draw on this one. It will stop the rot for stop the chains for Oxford. We'll keep Ipswich keeping moving and unbeaten this week. Next, of course, Milton Keynes Dons taking, of course, Northampton Town, who are in a bit of trouble. Of course, played each other the last 63 for MK Dons, 1 for Northampton, 2 draws last round in the Stadium. MK was a 3-1 win in the Papa John's Trophy in September. This season, they've actually played each other 3 times this season. This will be the 4th time this season that they play each other. And actually, Milton Keynes Dons have not lost against Northampton in those 3 occasions, winning twice and drawing the other time. The only other the draw was, in fact, in Northampton in the league. Of course, heading into this though, Northampton have actually failed to score in the last 5 matches in League One, and they've also failed to win the last 7 on the road. Coming into this though, MK Dons just 1 defeat the past 5. Of course, Andy Fisher between the sticks, ex-Rovers goalkeeper, of course, keeping the clean sheets, or at least keeping them in the game. So the 1 defeat was against Sunderland in the Papa John's Trophy. Meanwhile, flipping 3 defeats of the past 4 games for Northampton. They look absolutely dog shit right now, and I can't see anything saving them. Anyway, bookies odds on this one 7-4 on for Milton Keynes on 3-1 is draw, 92 is your Northampton Town. MK Dons double match week, no, just a single one, but a win for them in 13th. They could actually sneak in there, you know, you just don't know. 41 points, they could go up to the top 10, and guess what? They'll be right in the thick of things just at the right time. Of course, I'm going with a 2-1 win for MK Dons on this one to get themselves back in the hunt. Peterborough up against Wimbledon, of course. Let's get into this one then, shall we? Of course, Peterborough flying high, taking on Wimbledon, of course, flying low, of course. But of course, the last 63 wins for Wimbledon, 2 for Peterborough, and 1 draw last round. Peterborough was a 3-2 win for Peterborough back in September 2019. Goal scorers on that day: Marcus Madsen, Mohamed Issa as well, Mitchell Pinnock, and Anthony Wordsworth as well. They also played in Wimbledon this season, a 2-1 win for Wimbledon. Of course, actually showed that they've actually won back-to-back games, Wimbledon over Peterborough, but both of them have been in Wimbledon. Meanwhile, Peterborough have actually won 6 of the last 7 matches at home. Heading into this though, back-to-back wins as well, beating Crewe, beating Ipswich, and of course they've got Gillingham on the horizon as well. Meanwhile, just 1 win in the past 5 games for Wimbledon. That was against Wigan a couple of games back. Of course, I think they're looking for a new manager. I don't know if that's figured out or what. But anyway, Wimbledon coming at you. Look at the bookies odds. I'm sure they are the underdogs at 30-8 for Peterborough. They are your Stone Cold favourites. 3-1 is your draw. 4-1 is your Wimbledon. Of course, Wimbledon coming at you down in 19th for them. They could close in on 16th, if not overtake them as well. Of course, as for the opposition, Peterborough, double match week for them. 6 points on the agenda. They could go top of the pops. Top of the block. Goes if they were to win. I've got them the winning in this one as well. 3-1 win, 3-0 win, and of course that'll follow up the 2-1 win to give them 6 points and maybe just push themselves top of the pops. Meanwhile, Pompey up against Blackpool, of course, heading into this down at Fratton Park. These 2 sides played each other the last 6, 3 for Blackpool, 2 for Portsmouth, and 1 draw last round. Fratton Park was a 1-win for Blackpool. In fact, Blackpool unbeaten in the last 3 games against Portsmouth in all competitions. Of course, they played each other in blue for Rod this season, was a 1-win win as well for Blackpool. Kishi Anderson on the score sheet back in whatever. Of course, heading into this Portsmouth, which scored at least 2 goals in the last 3 matches. They're coming into this unbeaten the last 3, picking up 2 wins and a draw to boot. Meanwhile, Blackpool just 1 defeat the past 3 games. That 1 defeat was against Ipswich. It was a 2-0 loss just the other day. Meanwhile, heading into this, what do we have on this one? Portsmouth, even Stevens for the victory, 5-2 is your 30-5 is your Blackpool coming at you. Of course, double match for them, and if they win both of them games, that's 6 points on the agenda. They could go as high as 11th. Meanwhile, Portsmouth also have a double match week, I believe. Yes, they have. And if they win both of those, they could be up as top of the pops. They could be top of the pops. They could be the bloody top of the pops on this one. I've gone with the 2-1 for Pompey to make it back-to-back wins this week. Kicking off further into the final 3, Rochdale up against Plymouth. Let's take a look at this one, shall we? Of course, the players their last 6, 2 wins for Rochdale, 2 for Plymouth, and 2 draws last time around in Rochdale in Scotland's boys. Right up here, 2-1 win for Plymouth back in the day, back in December 2018. Joel Grant, David Perkins with a big fat OG, Brandon Inman on the score sheet for Rochdale, of course, back a couple of seasons ago. Meanwhile, they played each other this season in Plymouth. It was a 4-0 win for Rochdale, goodness gracious me. Heading into this, though, Rochdale have actually conceded 2 goals in the last 7 home matches and also failed to win their last 12. Plymouth, though, undefeated in the last 8 matches, both home and away, coming into this winning 5 on the, or at least unbeaten in the last 5. Of course, they did lose to Sheffield United in the FA Cup back in this end of Jan. Just 1 win the past 3 games for Rochdale against Bristol Rovers. Look at the bookies odds. I'm sure Plymouth are your favourites on this one. Rochdale 5-2 for 30, 11-10 is your Plymouth, 23-10 is your draw. Plymouth, of course, just a single match day for them, but a win for them in that 1 game. They could go bloody hell, sneak cabinet to 6th in the table. As for, of course, Rochdale, double match for them, and if they would have been in both of those games, they could go up to as high as nowhere. They can't even move. They could close in on Shrewsbury, but again, it'll be too much to ask. I've gone with the 2-1 for Plymouth on this one to keep their dream on as well. Into Swindon up against Crewe then, shall we? Of course, last 62 for Swindon, 4 for Crewe. No draws last time around. In Swindon was a 3-1 win for Swindon. Back, of course, in League 2. Should I say, Rob Hunt, Jerry Yates, Danny Rose on the score sheet. Chuma Elneny on the score sheet for Crewe. They also played this season in Crewe, 4-2 win. Daniel Powell, Perry Ng, Tom Lowry and Owen Dale on the score sheet. Anthony Grant, Tyler Smith as well for Swindon. Heading into this though, Crewe just, what are they looking at here? Just 1 win in the past 5. That one was against Shrewsbury. A couple of draws in that mixture as well. 1 win in the past 5 though for Swindon against Wigan, that was. Bookies odds on this one, 11-4 for Swindon, 20-21. 21-20 on. Crewe are your favourites, 5-2 is your draw. Of course, a win for Swindon. Currently find themselves in 21st. They could actually go as high as 18th, whereas Crewe are actually in 11th. Just a single match day for them. They could also go as high as 7th and get their playoff. Blood is so airtight. I'm going to go with Crewe. Believe in the Crewe. Believe in the Pickering. Get the result and keep on moving on. Next, of course, we have, Wigan up against the leaders. Lincoln have been very, very quiet, of course. Postponements, all kind of stuff. Big week for Wigan. If they get 6 points, they can move the chains. But of course, pleasure just one time Lincoln and Wigan. That was back in Lincoln. It was a 2-1 win for Lincoln back in December this season. Goal scores George A. Grant, Tom Hooper as well. Kai Naismith on the score sheet for Wigan. Now in the books at someone else. I can't remember. He's been on the move recently. Luton, I think it's Luton. Anyway, heading into this, Lincoln have actually kept sheet in 7 last 8 matches away from home, and they're also undefeated in the last 8 on the road. Wigan though failed to win 10 last 11 matches at home. Heading into this, just 1 win the past 5. That one was against Northampton. Meanwhile, unbeaten the last 4. That's Lincoln in all competitions, of course, in the Patrons Trophy as well as the league. Look at the bookies odds on this one then, shall we? Wigan 4-1 for the victory, 6-4 on is your Lincoln, 11-4 is your draw. Double match for Wigan. If they win both of them, they could themselves go up to at least 18th. As for Lincoln, just the 1 game. They're already top, and a win for them this week will see them remain top of the pops. And I'm going to go with that as well, with a 3-1 win for Lincoln Town in the Lincoln City in the end. And if I'm right, which I bloody hope so, this is what the table will look like at the end of it, I believe. Lincoln City will be top, Peterborough will be 2nd, Portsmouth 3rd, Doncaster back into 4th, Hull down to 5th, Sunderland into 6th, and then it's air bloody tight between Sunderland and all the way down to Crewe in 12th. Milton Keynes, Don's not too far away either. It is that tight. It's exciting. Thank heavens my boys aren't in this division, of course. But anyway, be sure to get your picks in nice and early for this. Of course, we have the live action prediction league, of course, and hopefully next time you see me, we might do this one live once again. Until then, be sure to get the video sometimes. Smash the old thumbs up. Smash your subscribe as well. Keep your banger state with all things Blackburn Rovers related. Whatever this is, League 1 related. World football, we're going to all here on the Roverseas. That's it, my friend. Also, check out the links down below: Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and I'm also on Patreon, so make sure you check those badges out. But until then, I'll see you all soon. Take it easy.